two reflection questions. One person is assigned to asking questions. The other one is assigned to writing. Everyone else is discussing. What is a language? What is a culture?
Culture, yes.
Okay.
Social behavior.
We're rolling on this. So then, we're going to get people. Finished? If you're finished, give me a thumbs up. 1 minute to go. 1 minute. Okay, good. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. All right, well, we're going to get this rolling there. You want to be my person in charge of writing all the ideas related to language?
Okay, with pleasure.
Not the whole concept, just keywords.
Okay.
You want to help us? You finished? Okay, good. You want to be my helper? Come. Oh. Oh yeah, I like that. Groups of 5. Great. Now I got 2 wonderful volunteers, Bubakar and Dildora. We are just going to go around. I think we're good, right? I think this will take about 7 or 6 minutes, so timer, you can do that. Each group will just share what is their one definition, okay? She will be in charge of writing keywords, right? Language, speaking, or whatever it is, the name. You will be in charge of keywords for culture. We'll see who gets the most words, okay? So I guess we'll just go around, and the question is the same question. And as a whole class, to keep everyone involved, we're all going to ask the same question. The question is, what's your definition of language and culture? Okay, so let's all ask together. What's your definition of language and culture? I don't know if every group will go in 7 minutes, but we'll try to get as many ideas as possible. One person will stand, talk for about 30 seconds, and then we ask the question again. What's the question?
What's the definition of language?
And these ladies, what are they doing?
Right.
For their topic. Okay? So, question.
What's your definition of language?
Language is a type of communication, a way to reach person's minds, connection.
It's okay.
Only one.
It's fine. Just explain your definition, and then she'll listen. Let's listen.
Okay.
Communication.
Communication, connection among nations, and belongs to a particular area.
Okay, good. Let's get the next group, just because there's so many groups. I guess culture.
Culture, combination of some traditions which belong to particular area.
Okay. Traditions. Question.
What's your definition of language?
We're going to go around. I don't know if this will work, but we'll try.
Okay.
Language has this group also. There's a type of communication, but we also want to make addition that language is a tool of communication.
Tool.
And language is sharing ideas. Language is a key to the world.
Key to the world, okay.
Also, a language is a description of our culture.
Description of our culture, okay.
And about culture, culture is a way of living, customs, and traditions of particular nation.
Way of living.
Particular nation. Culture, this is identity of nation.
Identity.
Culture, this is social behavior.
Okay, good.
Culture is typical characteristics of nation.
Beautiful. Let's give more to other people. Good, good. Question.
So many ideas.
What's the definition of culture?
So I'm going to tell about the first language. It means of communication, totally. And a second one, culture. It is a specific term that represents any nation's everything, including lifestyle, habits.
Good. Question. Thank you. Question.
What's your definition of language and culture?
About culture, expression of our lifestyle, beliefs, ways of life, and then about language, helper for expressing the ideas. People can demonstrate their thoughts, opinions, and feelings.
Opinions and feelings of language. Okay. Question.
What's your definition of language and culture?
Language is powerful tool to communicate with each other, and it is tool of release what you think and in your mind, yes. And culture is a sign of one nation's traditions, customs, dressing code, behavior, manner,
What you
and
think?
nation's image.
Nation's image. Question.
What's the definition of language and culture?
Language is understanding each other and the way of communication among people. And culture is a common lifestyle for people who live in the same place. Like they have same religion, beliefs, thoughts, and maybe behavior.
What's the definition of language and culture?
Okay, for the language, we have chosen the definition. Language is a system for communication.
System.
Yeah.
System. That's a key word. Thank you for using that.
And for the culture, we have chosen the way we behave ourselves. It's a culture.
Good behavior.
Yeah, culture.
Thank you.
What's your definition of language and culture?
Language is a means of communication and key of learning new culture and gaining new knowledge. And culture is a way of interacting and behaving.
Interacting and behavior. Okay.
What's the definition of language and culture?
Language is to convey our emotions, feelings in orally, in written form. And the culture is habits. Habits.
Habits,
We wanted
okay.
to say customs, but they have already said that's like habits of each nationality.
All right. So thank you so much for sharing your ideas. I think that was about 5 minutes. Didn't take too long. Can you read out our main ideas for language and then culture, please?
So, the language is type of communication, that's the connection, that's the particular area, the connection of particular areas, that's the tool, that's the sharing ideas and feelings, then key to the world, then that's the release of expressions, then understanding each other, system for communication, and convey emotions. Through language we can convey emotions.
Cool. Culture? Tell us about culture. It's just our ideas.
Culture is a combination of traditions such as customs and tradition. So it can be identity and culture, social behavior and typical characteristics and lifestyle. Can be expression of ideas or feelings and also based on beliefs and people's manner and behavior. And people can be in the same religion and interaction and habits.
Yes.
Clap for our volunteers. You can have a seat. So, when we're teaching English, we're doing language and we're doing culture, right? But we also have the students' language and culture.
Yeah.
So it's just something to think about. I'm going to share a presentation, and I'm going to try to make it as interactive as possible. And I'll share with you the way I will do it. Now, so the reason this course is called Foundations, does anyone know what a foundation of a building is?
Yes.
It's the basement. So I'll just show a picture of it because I like to show images. Foundation of a building. Bless you, Sapule. You know what it is? It's specifically this.
Yes.
So when we're talking about language and culture, these two things are the foundation of everything that we do in our profession as teachers. So with that, I have two more reflection questions. We did that. You're going to discuss this, and we won't be writing it out, but it's a good thing to just discuss as a point of learning, because a lot of times in our classrooms, we ask a student to speak.
Yeah.
They speak and they say something that we think is wrong, and we tell them, no, this way. And this is the first question. So the question, let's all read it together. So 1, 2, 3. Do you know any speakers of your L1 who make a lot of grammar errors in informal conversations? So instead of one person, I'm going to have you buddy up, ask that to your partner. I want to be clear before I start. L1, what does that mean? First language. Informal, what does that mean? Not formal. Right, relaxing, friends, family. So the question in another way, is it possible to communicate and still make mistakes?
Yes.
So discuss it with your partner. You've got about a minute. Buddy up and explain why. I think yes because. I think no because.
But you still understand.
He does mistakes. And do you correct his mistakes?
Anyone want to share an idea? Just raise your hand. Can you do this? Do you know anyone who makes mistakes in their first language?
Sure.
Okay.
She's not my group mate, but when I was a student, we have a girl. We had a girl. She was Russian, but she always did mistakes when she spoke or when she writes something in Russian.
Okay. So it happens. It's a lot, right? Okay. Anyone else have an idea? Yeah. I saw your hand. Okay, your hand's up, girl.
Okay, so I can tell you that these are my parents, and I have the 10th graders. I'm the teacher, and they usually text messages in short in order to make it shorter. So they usually do this kind of mistakes, and that's okay with me because other way it would be longer.
It'll take a long time.
Yes.
I just realized something. As we're doing this reflection, we're going to do it using a strategy called question tag. So you share your opinion, and then everyone raise your hand who has an answer, and you ask them, and you, what do you think? So
So who was raising hand, please?
In my mind, I think now we are in all different places of our country, and while using informal informal conversation and while using different dialects. We have, for example, in Bukhara we have different dialect. In Karaizm, for example, different dialect. And while using, I think every person make mistake while using informal conversation.
Anyone? Question tag. And you? What do you think?
Who wants to share? Yes, what?
I know. The question was, do you know any speakers? I want to say that I have a nephew. He's 5 years old, and he sometimes makes mistakes with timing. For example, he uses yesterday for tomorrow because he's little, small.
Yes, they
He sometimes says, we are going to park yesterday in our mother because he's 5 years old.
Okay, thank you. Anyone else want to share? This is question tag, so we're playing the game.
You please, this man. Yes.
Just now my partner mentioned, and I had also such kind of incident. Our directors or deputy directors, when we have a meeting, when they are using our own language, native language, they do a lot of grammar mistakes, and it affects for their reputation, and it affects not being trustful for them, for the directors.
Okay.
And who wants to share
You
idea?
got one
please?
more, last one. Go ahead. Thank you.
Well, when we speak with our partner, we also make mistakes, grammar mistakes. And the first reason is jargons. That we, for example, in some area, we use some such kind of jargons. In Tashkent, we use another jargons.
Yeah.
And this is the first reason. The second reason is literacy. We just forget about our literacy.
Tell your
also.
class. Don't just look at me. Tell them. I feel like it's all to me. It's to them. It's okay.
We just don't speak in literary way. When we speak with our partner, we just use our jargons, not in literary way. And also, when we speak, we just lose our literacy also.
And that's why there is written informal conversation.
Yes, that's why it's informal conversation.
Yeah. All right. So, in terms of communication, it may affect different aspects, but you will understand the idea,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
It's allowed to be making some mistakes, right?
Yeah.
Okay, good. So thank you for that good discussion using the question tag approach. Here is, oh, did we do this one? We did that one. This was the next question. And then we'll go to the presentation, but I like to start with questions because it gets us thinking more. So let's practice reading this question together. So 1, 2, 3. Can you think of any examples of how your L1 has changed since you, your parents, or grandparents were in school? So it's a similar question, a little different. Just for a minute, ask your friend. Buddy up, buddy up. Question tag again. The question very easily is, has your language changed?
Yes, it was fully changed because alphabet was changing. Letters was changing from Kirill to Latin.
Yes.
And when I was a schoolboy, I learned everything in Kirill. But now, yeah, I'm a little bit, it's difficult for me to understand, to read some articles in Latin.
It is not.
And also, it's changed, and because of the now we are living in the highest technology, and that's why new terms are coming from
New
international.
trends are
words.
coming. Yeah.
Yes, and because of development of high technology and a lot of technical words and so. No, what's your name?
What do you think? Good question. What do you think?
What do you think?
You can ask her. Thank you, Coach.
So,
Come on.
in our parents' time, Russian language was popular in that time, but now English is becoming more popular than Russian. And when people, youngsters use Uzbek, our native language, they add English words. Nowadays.
Alright.
Like that time, they, our parents use it, added like Russian words. Yes.
What do you think?
What do you think?
Yeah, what do you think?
Thank you. I think that the first reason is idioms. In ancient time, our grandparents used much idioms, many idioms than nowadays. And the second reason is globalization. And the international words are reaching to another countries also. And that is why they don't understand, that our grandparents don't understand what we are speaking about. And the third one is, yes, the new century. We have new technology. Our technology is developing, and that is why new words are becoming and becoming more popular. And what do you think?
There are a lot of change. There are a lot of changes from since my age and my parents and my grandparents. For example, when I had the final exam at the university, the graduation exam, I talked about the family. I hardly spoke about the family. And my daughter is 17 years old. She got a CFR certificate, IELTS certificate. She can speak English very perfectly. And I think there are a lot of changes nowadays.
So it changes.
What about you?
In my opinion, everything's changing now. So dialects of our grandparents are different from us. For example, we say thunder in our dialect, but they say thunder. But this is so strange for me. I think dialects are changing now.
Got it. Pronunciation,
What do
dialects
you think?
changing.
What's your opinion?
I want to add, for example, there are new words today in our language. For example, even in our official language, they use English or any new coming words.
Thank you. Let's get two more volunteers. Those guys are waiting. Give them a chance.
I'm gonna talk about how L1 affects to formal and informal speech. For example, as I am parent, when I go to school, especially to the kindergarten, to take my son should say in the morning, father, but he said, hi, how are you, hello. Informal, he used informal.
Yeah.
As a time it affects to parents.
And what you're saying is, when you were a child, you would not have done that.
Yes.
You would have said a different way, formally. Okay.
Okay. What about you?
I think there are a lot of changes since our grandparents' speech and their writings also, as he said. And for example, the names of members. Before, our grandparents said ota, ona. Nowadays, we say aya, oye, like this. We call them. And besides that, for example, we say our parents say it's bultu. We say utkayida.
What does that mean? Those are.
Last year.
Oh, okay.
There are some. Yes, the vocabulary has changed.
Okay, the vocabulary change. Let's get one last person to share. Someone new we have not heard.
What do you think?
I think we should take the globalization process into account because this process, of course, influenced our language. At the center of the process is the language. I think I mean that more modern words can be added and modernization of the language. And since my childhood, as you know, the words are categorized
you're in it. All right, thank you. I'm going to move forward, but I'm liking all the ideas that we're expressing about how language changes, how, you're part of the change, right?
Yeah.
You're all teachers. You're teaching the change, which is your students. This activity that we did is called question tag. You know the game tag?
Yeah.
Tag, you're it. Tag, you're it. Let's add it to our... If you don't mind. Let's write it. Activity. Take a minute before I move to the content. Let's add that. How could you use it? Right? What age is this good for? Right. Explain how you would use it. What topic would you use it for?
What do you think?
What do I think?
To share ideas.
To share ideas. Can I tell you one problem that I've seen? One problem is as teachers, we go to one person and we stay with them for 45 minutes. And the rest of the class is invisible. So this is an important thing to be aware of. How can I get more people talking? So you don't choose, they choose. So maybe you want to just explain. Student-centered. Thank you. Activity. It's called question tag. All levels. What is it good for? Discussion. Good. How would you use it? Maybe I would use it to talk about favorite foods or another topic. Just give 30 more seconds. Add to your day. I love question tag. Question tag.
During the classes, I explain the question tag, give the rules, give the notes, but I didn't make my students use it. This is good method, thank you.
Yeah, okay, beautiful. I'm happy. Because we want the students to own the learning. I'm going to go to the foundation topic now. The way I like to read these presentations is I like to present it. If there is a missing word that I do not say, your job is to say it. Okay, so an example. TESOL Core Certificate. All right, we're going to talk about Part 1, Module 1. All right. Timekeepers, you two ladies over there. I think this will be about 40 minutes. Because at about 12:30, I want to move to something else. So could you put your timer on for me?
Sure.
Thank you. So this is a self-check. This is checking what you know to start off with. So this will help you achieve these
outcomes.
Okay, self-check. Can I describe the difference between a and a approach to grammar? So I'm not going to tell you now what that means. We're going to learn. But just practice reading the words that I do not say. So can I describe activity that focuses on language as a okay, and one activity that focuses on language as okay. Can I describe the form, meaning, and use of an example noun and an example word or verb tense? If you do not understand all these words, that's okay. I'm going to explain it, but this is just the introduction. So you want to think about this as we go through it. So there are two approaches. Before I tell you what it means to teaching language, you can follow along in your book if you want to and take notes. It's on page, oh, you didn't number your pages yet.
12.
Page 12?
Yeah.
Beautiful. Page 12. You didn't number because you were only told the number to 10. You can follow along as we listen and discuss and take notes. So, prescriptive. Before I tell you, what do you think it means? Prescription. I like the word prescription. You go to the doctor and they give you medicine. Traditional. Okay. Any other ideas?
Yes or no?
Conventional.
Maybe
Construction. Okay.
Direction.
It's based on rules. Okay, so I'm liking these ideas. It is exactly that. I will basically say it in one sentence. It is how you are teaching now. So the whole program is not about throw away. It's not about that. The whole program is you need both this traditional way, but you also can learn a new approach. What's it called? Descriptive. All right, so what do you think it means as a teacher? It's okay, just throw ideas. Describing, okay.
Read something new.
Let's say it again.
Pupils to think themselves.
Let pupils think for themselves.
How to use the rules.
That's more prescription, but you are correct, I think. Let's see.
Create some new methods.
New methods, okay.
First we do exercise and then we will explain the grammar rules.
Okay, so there's nothing wrong. Explaining rules is more on this side. Very good. That's more prescriptive, not descriptive.
Or show it how really in real life people do that.
Ooh, I like that. Remember the 2 points, communication? This descriptive is a lot more about communication, right? While this side is about rules.
Teaching without rules.
So, I guess, I don't know if there's no rules, but it's teaching without explaining every single rule. It's giving examples, yeah?
In one way, prescriptive is theory, descriptive practice.
I think that's it.
Yes.
Theory and practice.
Theory, practice, okay?
Use of English. How we use English is descriptive.
I like that. So this is about use, and I hope you're writing these ideas down. Your classmates are so smart, all these teachers. This is about the rules. So let's write that down for a sec if you need it, just to remember. I'm loving all the ideas. These are 2 ways of teaching. And I'm going to give you more details now. So if you notice, when I started this class, I asked you for ideas on a topic of what's off the top of your head, right? I didn't say, no, bad. No, bad. I just said, okay, more ideas, more ideas. So the prescriptive, that's a descriptive approach, what I did. But the prescriptive approach, can everyone say prescriptive? Prescriptive. Tell students right and wrong ways to speak. Okay? Teaches the rules and the educated speaker use in okay. Does not teach that English is right and does not teach the many English is spoken. So this is one way. Right? This is the one way of teaching, and it's very, how do I say it? It's very concrete. It's very strict. Very strict. That's a better word. And this is the one where the teacher knows everything, and the student knows nothing. This is how we think about this way. Okay. If we use this approach, students learn to write academic English. It's very formal. Students may have understanding. Students may sound in many situations. So the main point here, it's one way of expressing yourself, right? Reading, writing, very academic. But in some situations in life, you can also be informal. Okay. And as teachers, we want to show both possible. So, quickly, are we clear on prescriptive? It's clear?
Yes.
All right. If it's very clear, give me 5. A little clear, maybe 2. You don't understand 1. Let me see.
5.
Good. Show me. Okay. So people, I'm seeing a lot of 5s, so I'm happy. Next. Descriptive describes the speakers and writers English every day. Teaches ways of using English that don't always follow the grammar or vocabulary rules that are printed. So that's a little bit of a challenge, right? Because you have your textbooks, you need to follow them, but at the same time, you want your students to learn to communicate, right?
Yes.
So you're kind of doing two different things, right? One thing is all textbook. The other thing is communication. And you need to have a balance, right? No one's saying throw the textbook out.
Sometimes we don't have to follow rules.
Sometimes we don't have to follow rules. Descriptive is more about experimenting, right? Getting our students to experiment with language instead of making them into robots. Let's see, this is the wrong thing. I do have a clicker, so I'm going to try to get it to work. Let's see, is it going to work? No, it's not, so I'll just use my hand. Next one. Teaches that are used in... Okay, so it's a little more informal. So if we use this approach, we must teach as well as... Good. Can you tell my friend next to you, Kamal, to pay attention? No, to the left of you. Class is here, right? Thank you. We will show many ways that English is used. It's about situation, context, right? A story, not just a piece of paper. Some of our students may have trouble choosing the best
Form to use.
formal and informal, right? All right, next one. So just an example, basically in the prescriptive approach, can means one thing, may means another thing. But if we look at it now, we use them as if the same. Right? May I use the pencil sharpener? Can I use the pencil sharpener? Both have meaning? Same meaning. Maybe one does not follow the rules, but we still understand. So descriptive teachers know that you can use both, basically. So I'm going to have you do this on a sheet of paper. And the easiest way... Oh, does someone want to be the photographer for us? Who is my photographer? I need someone with a phone. All right, so I think, weren't you... You were a marker? I can't remember. Maybe someone at this table because you're close. Take a photo of this, post it to the group because we're going to make a new chart. Can you just take a photo and then erase? We'll give her a new job because you had another job. Take a photo, post it to the group. What are you going to do now? On a sheet of paper with your team, one person will be asking the question at your table. So I need one person. Raise your hand at each table. Very good, very good. Oh, not two, one. That person is asking the question. Question is, how is descriptive different from prescriptive? You got it? Erase it? Beautiful. Now, another person, raise your hand. Very good. Another person, that person, note taker. The other friends are speaking. And everyone can copy easily. Just try writing prescriptive and descriptive.
We're going to write the difference between descriptive and prescriptive.
What are you going to do? You'll have 6 minutes. You're going to write prescriptive, descriptive line. Explain the examples. What is the difference? Okay? What do you think? 4 minutes is good?
2.
Fish. 5. Okay. Okay, groups at your table. Groups at the table. Are you finished?
Yeah.
All right, when you're finished, do a little boom. How are we doing on time?
We have finished yet.
2 minutes.
I think some people are finished early, so it's okay. One more minute, we'll give them a little more time. All right. 2 volunteers, new volunteers. We'll just share. So yeah, if you want to go, come forward. Okay. You want to give her a chance? Give her a chance. I'm going to give her a chance. Come. Just bring a dry erase marker. I only have one. You're going to be Miss Prescriptive. You're going to be Miss Descriptive. I think the easiest way is we'll do this for about 4 minutes, 3 minutes. Just raise your hand. I need one other volunteer who's going to be the teacher.
Yes.
Who wants to be teacher volunteer? I see you raising your hand. You'll just point at people. Come. You stand here. Yeah, hold on, lady. That's what she said. So you just point at someone. Let's just do keywords. Okay, so just share. Prescriptive is, descriptive is. One thing. You go. Uh-oh, we have the competition.
Ladies first.
Prescriptive approach is usually based on teacher-centered activity, and descriptive based on student-centered activity.
Don't forget the ladies in the back, huh?
Please.
Me?
Yeah.
Prescriptive is teacher-centered. Descriptive is student-centered.
Prescriptive is academic English, and descriptive is everyday English.
Vice versa.
Perspective is a graph translated language, and descriptive is a CLT translated language.
And in prescriptive language, it's more strict rules, and also speak more academically and following to the rules. And descriptive is based on student's idea, and the teacher is secondary person here.
You, please. Why?
There's a difference.
I mean,
The first one here is the formal, and the next one is informal.
Good, move around.
It's useful for academic English, and descriptive much more interesting than prescriptive.
Interesting, more interesting. Descriptive, real-life situations. Prescriptive, theoretical textbooks.
Descriptive is more productive than the prescriptive.
Ooh, more productive. Oh, I like that. Versus one is more passive, okay? Please keep your mask on.
Prescriptive is argumentative method. Descriptive is kinesthetic method.
Argumentative and kinesthetic.
Oh, boring. Please, one voice at a time. If you're not talking, just listen. Let's get 3 more volunteers.
Okay, that is our business
Later. Yeah, that was a problem. All right, time's done. So don't worry about it. We'll figure it out. So let's look through the list. Please, prescriptive teacher, tell us about it.
prescriptive method based on teacher-centered activity, academic English, so grammar translate method, strict rules, speak more academically, formal especially, useful for academic English, theoretical textbooks, non-productive, and boring.
Okay, thank you. Descriptive?
Descriptive approach is student-centered, and daily, we can use daily English, and based on CLT, and based on ideas, students' ideas, informal language we can use, and more interesting than prescriptive, and based on real life situations when we play activities, and more productive and kinesthetic. We can
add some-
kinesthetic.
Sure, the teacher wants to add something.
I think descriptive is easy to use the language. Speaking.
Yeah,
Speaking to.
Descriptive.
No, descriptive.
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 Easy to use language speaking or learning to.
Yeah.
There is no rule.
So yeah, descriptive is more about using the language, while prescriptive is about learning the rules. Like, so yeah, if you want to add that, use. Descriptive is about use, while prescriptive is about rules. Okay? Let's clap for our teachers. Let me take a photo of this. I'll post it in our group, and then you're going to work on erasing that. Help me out. It's not your fault. Just try to erase it, okay?